All right.
And then we become billionaires, all because of this.
So I guess what we can do is, I guess you see the recording thing. We're recording right now, right?
I got to escape that. Yes.
So we're not even going to. Let's just because I don't want to kind of change the energy. So we'll just continue with what was going on, and if we needed to, if we decided to post it, we could record an intro and stick it in front of it.
Yeah.
So so the universe, if you want to look at it again, this is a very esoteric way of looking at it, but it's what it is like the universe. When they say the world isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Everything that's coming up in your experience that brings you out of peace is something, right? And that something is something that's going on within you, right? Because there are crazy things that happen where you can be totally gentle about, right? There are crazy things that happen in the world, and you can just be like, "Oh, wow, that's crazy." I have compassion for those people. I hope it's okay, right? They're
Yeah.
and that are not triggering is my point. There's shit out there that happens in the world that's not nice, that's fucked up, that's weird, and yet it doesn't trigger us, right? And then there are things that
Yes.
happen outside in the world that totally trigger us, and sometimes they're even less bad in a way,
Yeah.
you know.
Minor little detail, minh thing.
Yeah, minor
Be
little
minor.
thing, and yet it can bring up a big thing inside of us, right? And so then most teachings will say that most of the esoteric spiritual teachings, so that's the thing that needs to be removed, right? That's the thing that's blocking us. So then we have to go inside and remove that block, and when we remove that or heal that wound, right, and heal whatever it is, whatever whatever caused the trigger, right? So what most people will do is they're trying to stay away from the button. In other words, oh, here's this
Okay.
scenario that really hurts me and I get mad when this happens. So I'm never going to allow that to happen. Right.
Uh-huh.
And they avoid it. So I need a relationship where this little thing never happens. Right. And so what happens is when you got a 20 buttons, now you're trying to find a relationship that never hits any of my 20 buttons. And that's what
Oh.
people do. Right. So I don't want anybody that ever is going to talk about this because that's upsetting to me. Or I want this. Don't you ever behave like that because that hurts me. And right. And so that's what most people do
Oh.
is they're trying to create a world that they feel safe in, right? By restricting the behavior of the world or a
Oh, okay.
person, and that's impossible,
Yeah.
right?
That totally.
And so, in some relationships, when people are kind of on this path of awakening, or not awakening, but just healing their shit, they attract a partner that steps on all the buttons,
Oh.
right? So that you can heal them, right? So that can be
Oh.
cleared. That's the point of the relationships. Like I think Jacqueline and I are a lot like that, where we started out just bang, 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 bang. We're fucking. That's why I said we were going to either end in nuclear destruction, mutually assured nuclear. We were going to just keep escalating and explode into this massive fireball of ugliness, or we were going to heal everything, and then it was going to be really beautiful, which we were able to do, right?
Which is good. Yeah.
Which is beautiful, right? And that's that's what makes it so beautiful. So that's sort of the framework. So what came up for you, right, as we were talking, and I don't know how we don't need to get into the details of it, right? But there's stuff that happens with family stuff, and then the dynamic creates a trigger, and then what happens is we recognize as we were talking that you had some stuff that happened when you were 8, right? That kind of mirrors what you're seeing out there, right?
Yes.
And if you really look at it,
Yes, you're right.
and if you look at it energetically, especially, and what I mean by that is, oh, the circumstances are different. This person's different. That person's different. The circumstances will always be different, right? But the energy is the same.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
energy of how you felt in that moment, the energy of what you're seeing out there, they're kind of the same. It's the same vibration. Does it
It
make
is.
sense?
Yeah, totally.
So then, what happens typically is that if we can heal that energy and that vibration within ourselves, and we release that vibration, then we don't need to see that vibration anymore. So then what happens is a lot of times two things will happen. One is that dynamic stops happening outside of you. In other words, you don't see it anymore because you're healed. You don't need it. You don't see it. Now, the you don't see it can happen on different levels. One of them can be I don't see it, like it literally stops happening in the outside world. Like
Oh, okay.
the
Uh-huh.
behavior of those other people changes. Like that's the miracle. That's when the Course in Miracles said it's an echo. It's like it stops happening, like you literally don't see it. Or what can happen is when you've healed it inside you, is technically it's still happening, but it doesn't trigger you anymore. You don't care.
Yeah, it's like it's not
You
the
know what I
trigger.
mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so if it can be physical, where literally that behavior is not occurring anymore in your world, and that happens a lot of times, where all of a sudden, something happens, and let's say somebody cuts you off in traffic, and that really pisses you off, and then you figure out why, and you heal that, and you release all that energy within you, and then people just don't cut you off anymore. And you're like, wow, I'm never getting cut. I used to get cut off every day on our way to work. Every single day, somebody would cut me off. And now it's like it has been 2 weeks and I haven't had anybody cut me off. Or they are cutting you off and you just don't even realize it anymore because you're like, hey, you slow down and go, come on in. And it feels like you want to come in front of me. So go. And you slow down and let them or whatever, right? So there's different ways that it can kind of manifest out. But the bottom line is that, hey, if we can shift it within us, then the triggering doesn't happen anymore, right?
Yeah.
So,
which possibly has happened to me. I'm getting triggers from that past experience when I was 8.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing. And so that's where they say, oh, the universe isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. You're not a victim going, oh my God, why is this happening to me? These people are so ridiculous. This shit keeps coming up. Why are they behaving that way? It's like they're the gift. And that gift is for you to see, wow, I got this shit from when I was 8 that I never really dealt with. And I buried it, and it's just there. And then the universe keeps remanifesting it in your face over and over and over again in different forms. And that's the problem. That's why it's tricky, is because we go, oh, well, that's not the same because the circumstances are different. Of course, you're not 8 anymore. You know what I mean? But when you look energetically, I think you can see what we're talking about is you can tell, hey, the vibration is the fucking same.
Yeah.
Right? And it's weird, right? When you really look at it, you go, oh, fuck, that's kind of crazy.
That's identical in a way. Yeah.
Yes, it is, right? The freaking energetic vibration is identical, and that's the universe saying, hey, this needs to be healed. And what heals all things? Love. Love heals all things. Unconditional love, which allows everything and accepts everything, right? And where does that healing have to happen? To you and to that 8-year-old boy. That's the guy that needs the love and compassion. So what I want to do is, if it's okay, we're going to do a little meditation, guided meditation. And I'll just talk you through what I used to do with clients and see how that works for you. Okay?
Okay.
So just do some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're just wanting to get in a quiet space. Eventually, as you're doing this, a couple exhaling through the mouth, and then at some point, you're just going to transition to where you're breathing softly in and out through the nose. Okay, so what I want you to do is, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, in your memory, bring yourself back to the story that you described to me before we were recording, which was you're 8, you're at your stepmom's, and you said, I'll never forget that time. And sitting on the sofa. What I want you to do is to Remember it as vividly as you can. What I mean by that is, can you imagine that you're literally sitting on that sofa, putting your hands on the sofa, feeling the texture of the sofa? Do you remember what that sofa smelled like? Bringing yourself back to being 8 years old, one of the first times you're encountering your soon-to-be, or maybe she was already, stepmom, right? You're meeting this woman, and you're a young boy, and you're sitting on the sofa, and you can feel the sofa. You're slouching in the sofa. You can feel what it feels like, the sofa. You remember it wasn't comfortable. You're kind of trying to get comfortable in the thing. Maybe there were some smells, maybe the sound, maybe there was a TV playing. You're bringing yourself as fully as you can back there. And then I want you to also bring back in the memory of her reaction to that. And I believe you said it was a kind of chastisement, a yelling at you to sit up straight, right? Remember what it, and allowing to come back, how it felt. The felt experience of that in your body. Maybe there's a little bit of fear, maybe fear and anger, right? Maybe your heartbeat increases and you're nervous, right? Because you're a little boy and there's this full-grown adult yelling at you. I want to allow that, all of that to come back up. Maybe you can even get a sense of where it is in your body right now. Is it in your chest, in your shoulders, your stomach? Maybe your mind's racing a little bit, right? Because you're like, what the fuck? And then I believe you said that you moved to the floor. So you don't want to sit on the sofa because she's telling you to sit with your back straight and you're trying to get comfortable, but you can't. So you decide to sit on the floor and you're sitting on the carpet. Maybe you can even remember what was on the TV as you're sitting there. And then she comes back in and she yells at you some more for making a dent on the carpet. You're going to flatten the carpet and allowing yourself to feel hurt, afraid, pissed off, scared, whatever it was. All of the above, maybe, right? And just in this space right now, just allowing your body to feel all that and recognizing that it's still in your body, right? There's a vibration in there somewhere. There's that feeling. It's coming up. And part of what has to happen is there's a saying that says you have to feel it to heal it. So allowing your body to feel this all over again, to relive it all over again. And then what I want you to do is to imagine that you're in the room now as an adult, as you, David Smithers, today, and you're sitting next to that little boy, the 8-year-old version of you, and you're with that young guy. And what would you do if you were the adult in the room in that moment with that little boy and you just witnessed what happened? Maybe you give him a big hug. And in your mind's eye, I want you to play that out. Maybe you give him a big hug and you say, hey, I'm sorry that happened. Whatever it is that you would say to comfort that boy. Maybe he gives you a big hug back and he's crying, he's upset. want you to feel in the center of your chest that golden sun, a beautiful light of gold that's in the adult version of you, and it's connecting to the golden light in the little boy. You can visualize this in your mind's eye, beautiful golden sun, and each connected by a beam of golden light. And if you guys are hugging, then it's just like one big ball of golden light. And feel that golden sun. Feel the energy of it. And there's a vibration that happens. And if you'll notice, what can happen sometimes is that it actually shifts the energy, so the fear, the upset, all of those vibrations that were in there kind of actually change. Is that happening right now? Do you feel any of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it can change that vibration, right? So allow that to happen. And I want you to speak to that little boy and let him talk back. And you can have a conversation with him. You can imagine it like you're having a conversation with Arya, right? Something like that, right? You're about the same age. And how would you talk to her to comfort her if that happened and you saw something like that happen? And I want you to make sure he knows how much he's loved and how much he's supported. What I want you to notice is if that little boy feels happy again. And he may not, and that's okay if he doesn't. But maybe your little talk, and your hug, and whatever you did with him, maybe that was enough and he feels better. In this moment right now in your mind, he feels like he's ready to go off and play, like he's good. Or not. Is he feeling good right now? Just let me know.
Yes.
Okay. So you are together with him. You're supporting him. You're able to get him to feel better again. And he's like, cool. Then one of the things that can happen is, and you can see that your golden light is connected. The two of you are connected. This beautiful golden light. And you can also call the Holy Spirit. You can just say to yourself, Holy Spirit, come. And you can feel a beautiful, loving energy coming into the center of your chest, right in the golden sun. And it's over both of you. And it feels very soothing and healing and loving. And you're in this space of what feels safe, right? Totally loved. And in that space, maybe you can explain to the younger version of you that adults aren't perfect. And that stepmom has a lot of fear going on in her own head. And maybe she's afraid of you guys, even though she shouldn't be. She doesn't need to be, but maybe she is. And maybe she doesn't know how to react. So, as mean as it was, as hurtful as it was, it just was. Maybe the little boy's in a place where he can say, I understand that now. And if he's not, that's okay too. But if he is, and he's ready, you can just see the ball of golden light expand to include her. Right? And to include your dad and your brother and your half-brother. So that everybody's connected, everybody's enveloped in this beautiful, loving, golden light, infused with the light of the Holy Spirit as well. And now I want you to spend some time with that little boy. And in your mind's eye, in your imagination, he's going to merge into you. So it's like he slowly just is absorbed into your beingness. You, the adult you here right now. And he knows that you've got his back. And so he doesn't have to be afraid about anything. And that he's loved completely. And he doesn't have to do anything to earn the love of you, the love of God, that he's completely safe, exactly as he is. And as the Course in Miracles says, I need do nothing. And when you're ready, you just quietly say to yourself, thank you, thank you, thank you. When you're ready, you can open your eyes.
That was hard.
What was that?
A little bit. Hmm. Yeah. When you're talking about it, my heart was bringing it up.
Yep.
I could feel my body racing.
Yeah.
And then the whole together with him, it was kind of cool because when you said, hey, tell him, what'd you say? Tell him he's safe. Tell him that, no, tell him that she doesn't understand. That she's just, before you said that, I was telling me, my younger self, people are different. This is what she expects than what you've been expected. Okay. It's just different. Yeah. So it was and then when you said, hey, just sit next to him, what'd you say? Oof, hold on. Give him a hug. Started crying. It's okay. It's okay. It's not hard.
And you realize how much that energy's still in you when you're in that space like that, right? The tears are flowing.
Oh, jeez. It was weird. It's like, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit in there.
Feeling sad for the kid.
Yeah.
That they were fearful and just like hurt. Like
How traumatized that boy was.
Yeah. And just the I can't do right kind of
Yeah.
thing.
No matter how much I do, it's not enough.
Yeah. And it was good when you said, act like you're talking to Arya because it's the same age. And
Yeah.
things I do talk with her about, it's like,
Yeah.
this is the kid I'm talking to. It's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it was good. And then at the end, when you were talking some more, I could feel I wasn't racing anymore.
Yeah.
After that conversation with me, the younger me, I was like, it's okay. I'm calm.
Yeah.
But it was weird how when you were talking about it, I've talked about it so many times, then you started talking about it, it started racing. Not
Yeah.
when I talk about it, but when you were talking about it. So it was still there, still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But and it was the started talking to the younger me. It was also sad that I had to have that conversation. That a kid shouldn't have to go through that,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
So I was sad, crying on my side as the adult, but crying as a kid, going,
It wasn't
you
fair.
shouldn't be hurting. It wasn't fair.
It's not fair.
Yeah. And that, hey, that's the way that that person is. That's not who you are or how you've been raised yet. You know, I mean, I can't tell you exactly. I mean, I'm sure my mom never did that. I know my mom, but it was always, hey, you need to do this, but in a loving way. And that to me was not in a loving way, the way it
Yeah.
was done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to sit up. I need to not flatten the carpet. I don't need to do this, but in a way, hey, do this.
Yeah.
And it's funny how I told me that, hey, if you're there, do what you do, and then if you're on the floor, get up and rake that part of the floor
Yeah.
with your hands. There's a rake. Okay, people, shag carpet. Back in the day, we had rakes. Yeah, remember those? Remember the rakes, with the shag carpets? God, in the closet, I hated those things. Okay, go ahead and rake the carpet. I'm like, are you kidding me? So rake the carpet.
I didn't have one of those. I don't remember.
No,
We
I
didn't
had
have
one.
very anyway. That's great.
Yeah,
That's
we
funny.
had shag carpet,
I
so I got
believe
to
it.
rake the carpet.
I believe it.
And it's funny from that point on, whenever I was sitting on the carpet that was shag, I take my fingers and just fluff it back up
Yeah.
before I leave
Yeah.
and walk away.
Yeah.
And so it was a, and so I'm telling myself, hey, it's okay. Just got to learn what to do, where and when.
Yeah.
Got to adjust, and that's just the way things are. And if you make a mess, pick it up. In other words, leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
So if the carpet's fluffy, when you get up, make it fluffy.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything wrong. You're okay. So yeah, so that got to me. So
And let me ask you this. So, because I have done this with people in sessions, right, where this is when I was coaching people. I would take them through this kind of thing, and the healing is pretty dramatic, can be, but also I've had people where they're like, where I'd actually ask more. To be honest with you, I'd ask them and interact a little bit more than I did just now. But hey, how's the kid doing? Kind of thing, and they're like, she's still pissed. She ain't gonna
oh
say she ain't forgiven. She ain't done. She's pissed. And I'm like, okay, and literally just ended a session like that. So it's okay. Just hug the kid and let him know it's
yeah,
okay, and we'll do it again later or whatever. You know what I mean? Because there can be a lot of trauma, and healing of trauma
takes
can be
time
like,
to get to
yeah,
that forgiving
doesn't
that
always
kid.
doesn't you
Yeah.
can't force it. You can't just say, oh yeah, I'm going to forgive you. Because that's what we as adults do. Right? You'd be like, oh, that's silly. Why didn't you worry about that? You know, it's done.
Yeah.
Shirley was the way you actually, when we were talking before we were recording, you kind of said that. She's the way she is. But that's you as an adult talking about it. It doesn't change how your kid felt.
No,
You know,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You're just like, hey, she was, me and Bobby figured it out after we grew older, that's just how she is, kind of thing, or whatever, right? You said something like that. And it's like, well, that's the adult you rationalizing her behavior, which is fine. That's right. But it doesn't mean that the trauma wasn't still in the little boy.
Yeah. Which is still in here.
Yes. It
Still
still needs to be
inside.
cleared. Yep.
Yeah. And I will tell you during that, the little kid, when I sat next to the little kid and kind of put my arm around the younger me, the kid felt more safe and just felt more, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm loved. Basically, I'm loved.
Like a relaxation hits into the body of the little boy,
Yeah.
right?
And
Because
it's like,
he's
that,
safe all of a
because
sudden.
that was such hatred coming. I felt hatred, like mean hatred,
Anger.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, wow, okay, there's someone that cares. It's okay. So yeah, that was, seeing that little kid go through the process was cool. You know,
Yeah.
I see that's kind of cool just seeing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's kind of hard seeing me sitting next to me, but it was cool. I was like, wow, that's when it hit hard. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
okay, you're okay,
Yeah.
because here you are.
Yeah.
You know, we're here, so
Yeah.
we're okay.
Yeah.
And so,
I
yeah,
did it with
that was good. Thank you. Whew.
I did it
Jeez.
with one client where she was like, "That's the first time I feel like my little child is now inside me,"
Oh wow.
because she had gone through a lot of stuff, and then she was telling herself, "It's making me want to cry." I got you now. I'll never let that happen to you again, kind of stuff.
Mm,
And
wow.
and she was bawling her eyeballs out. It's making me want to cry. And then when we were done, she's just like, "She's inside my heart now. She never was.
Mm. Oh
Like
wow.
it's like a part of her never trusted me because of the
Oh.
stuff that had happened." And
Oh wow.
so then that's you know in a lot of the spiritual one of they describe it as returning to original wholeness. So
Yeah.
it's incorporating all of these fragmented parts of our psyche and our beingness, right? Like that little
Hmm.
boy on a certain level was outside of you. Right now he's with you, right?
Yeah.
He's whole, you're whole. You've
And it was
healed.
almost like I separated that apart because that was a hard part.
Yep,
Like, no, I don't want that part. I can
exactly.
talk about it, be a part of it, but it's like that's not what I like
Yes.
in this world.
Yeah, you intellectualize it, right,
Different.
with your
Hmm.
mind, and you can analyze it, right? But you've kind of kept it away. So when you do a process like this, you're kind of bringing it back into your heart and into
Hmm.
your beingness, and then there's a wholeness that happens.
Yeah. It was I gotta tell you, it's kind of funny because I felt the couch and saw the couch. Believe me, I remember that couch. I couldn't smell it. I was trying to smell it. I'm like, God, what does that
Well,
smell? I wanted to try to smell it so bad. And I know what I was I wasn't, I don't know what I was watching, but it was Saturday, so it was cartoons or something. But I'm like, what was on? I'm
yeah,
so, I almost started focusing too much. I said, no,
yeah, yeah,
if you know it, let it come. If you
yeah,
don't, let it go.
yeah.
So I almost got away from where I was supposed to be, and
Yeah, I got
I was
distracted.
like,
Well, that's perfect. I'm glad you did that. But
so,
typically when you do these kinds of things, the more senses you can bring
hmm,
into somebody, the more powerful it
yep.
can be, right? Physical, mental, emotional, all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. So,
I remember because the TV was there, and I remember the big
what it
beta.
looked like.
I remember the big beta not VHS, but the beta.
Betamax?
Yeah, the one you put in
Yeah.
I'll say VHS, but people, if you know what beta is, a totally different thing.
That was before the war, when there was the Betamax VHS war going on, and there are two
Yes,
formats, and then a
mhm,
VHS eventually won,
went over.
and
Yep.
then
And by the way, the VHS things are about that big. The Betamax is that big and about that wide. I mean, you can't even get in the picture anymore. It's so wide. It was the size of the top of the TV. It really was, and it was like as I'm looking to see what I'm watching, I'm like, I remember I look up and I see that because that's a big part of the.
yeah,
I
that's
remember
awesome, dude.
those betas, man. So
So what? So the little boy was cool with the forgiveness, if you will,
yeah,
or
hmm,
okay? Because
understanding,
yep,
understand, like not like oh that's okay. She didn't mean that. Well, she
yeah,
did.
yeah,
It wasn't that. It was a okay. I
but I get
understand.
it. Yeah,
I mean, and maybe she wasn't doing it to be hurtful. That's just who she is. But
yeah,
it hurt me,
yeah,
so let it go
yeah.
at that point.
So you need the healing and the love and the support and the to
Hmm.
to deal with that. Whether
Yeah.
she meant it to be that way or not, it was to you, and that needs
Yes.
to be validated.
Hmm. Yeah. And going through it as I was, some other things popped up. It's like now, with Dad gone, um, nobody's taking care of her.
Yeah,
I'm stuck. I'm sorry, the word. I'm
yeah,
stuck
yeah,
taking care of the adult.
yeah,
And it's like I did that with Mom, I did that with Dad, and I'm doing that with my stepmom. I'm
yeah,
like, where the hell's all her kids?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I mean, one's in jail, so he can't help, but he wouldn't help anyway. He would just take more money from her.
yeah,
The other two, it's like, God, step up. I mean,
yeah,
I understand she caused trauma for you guys, but
yeah,
I mean, at a certain point, it
yeah,
that sometimes triggers that.
yeah,
And that's what it is. Like I get angry, "Rah, rah, rah, rah. She
yeah.
did this to me and I did this. I know she loves me, but I mean, it's time for me to move on. So
Well, it's time. It's healing. That's what I always say,
Yeah.
that this is a journey of healing, right? So that was huge, and it doesn't mean it's
Mhm.
100%. For some people, it's pretty profound. I've had everyone different kind of reactions. It depends, right?
Yeah.
But that could be like that whole layers of an onion. Like that got a pretty good layer and healed a lot, but
Mhm.
maybe there's more that still needs to happen. That kind of thing. You can go through it, but you'll know how you feel in your body, right? You like you said, the kid felt relaxed.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
integration of all that felt good.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was totally um, a calming. It was calming.
Yeah,
You could feel it in
yeah,
and the golden light around all of us
yeah,
kind of caught me too. It was like, oh, it was a good thing. It was like getting me,
yeah,
the emotions going again. It's like
yeah,
because it was there, but it wasn't there. But it
yeah,
was a different dynamic than I'm used to. That's
yeah,
why
yeah,
it's like it was there, but it wasn't.
yeah.
You know. So
And sometimes working with it on an esoteric level, which is what the golden light is, right, is easier, or it can connect into things that you're bypassing your mind, right? Versus, oh, think about how much you love your hair. Think about, it's like, oh, then
mhm,
your mental mind gets into like judgments or
mhm.
weird things. But when you just do the light and you just see the
Yeah.
light, it hits on a different level, and it
So
can allow
you
some of
could have
that.
you could have said, "Hey, you're all hugging each other now."
Yeah.
I'd been like, it's stupid." No, but the
Yeah.
golden light is around us.
Yes.
And that put me a whole different emotional level.
Yep. Yep.
So,
So yeah, exactly, and so that's why, and everyone's different, right? So some people might not connect to the doing something like that. Oh, that's just weird and stupid. They might think the golden light's stupid, right? And the hugging is
mhm,
what I need to see, and that's fine. But I do think that there's something really powerful about working with it esoterically like that. So anyway, that's cool.
well, cool. Thank you. That was awesome. I mean, who knows? Maybe you can use this somewhere. I don't know how, but here's an example. I don't know.
Y- you
But,
know, uh,
never erase this one just in case it comes up and someone wants to see one. There it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
So,
and you know it'll be interesting to see how the circumstances in your life, current circumstances in your life
mhm,
now, how you
mhm.
feel about them and how you respond physically. Like you'll
Yes.
notice whether there's a difference. Maybe there's a little more patience. Maybe there's a little bit more, you know what I mean? There might
Mhm.
be a little more gentleness around that.
Yeah.
And again, the actual behaviors out there might be different too. So
Yeah.
they might shift. The outer world can shift, but also the inner world shifts so much that the outer world doesn't matter so much either. So it's a
Yeah.
very interesting way that
I
that
may not
happens.
notice. I may
Yeah.
not take it the way I take it
Yep.
as much.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's
So,
just like, I don't care. It's
mhm.
okay.
Cool.
Or, like I said, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what
I know.
happens
Yeah.
because this
So
was pretty big, I think. I think this
we'll,
was pretty
we'll,
big.
we'll keep notes on it. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it was big. I mean, you got me going. I mean, I wasn't a full bawling guy, but I was crying. It
Yeah.
got me. And, it'll be interesting to see how both sides,
Yeah.
external and internal, how it happens.
Yes.
So, so
And
I'll keep notes on it just to be a study
I
case.
guess we'll have to decide whether we want to post this or not.
Yep. So it might be good. Well, yeah, we'll have to you watch it and see how it goes and
Yeah.
see how what you think, and then
Yeah.
then we'll, then we'll see how things progress.
Yep.
So maybe a during, and
Yeah,
then after,
I
before,
think
during, and
that
after.
it could be a cool thing to post just for people to see. This is a potential way of
Yeah.
dealing with stuff. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it's a little less therapy, like sit on a couch and talk about it for months. It's just like,
Hmm.
this can
Yes.
be really, really, really potent. I've had people clear deep stuff in one session and done and feel like they were completely different and shifted, you
Yeah.
know. So it can be pretty powerful because
Yeah.
it's not working on the mental thing. It's different.
And I think going back to that couch, to that spot, to that place,
Yep.
the whole thing really makes it all there.
Yep.
Then it's
Yep.
not like, hey, so what was that feeling like? Well, I mean, what was that?
Yep.
You're not
Yep.
there.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, I felt sad. I felt hurt. I felt whatever. Well, you're not. If you go there, it's like, whoa, there's that kid.
Yep.
But it was cool because that 8-year-old me now felt safe and knowing that, okay, people are different.
Yep.
And if something does happen, I have someone to go to. Does
Yep.
that make sense?
Yep.
At that 8-year-old.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And then that's, like I said, an integration or wholeness for yourself, right? That's
Hmm.
you. right? So
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
that was me.
I feel a little more connected to myself, and you know what I mean. And I'm like
Mhm.
you said, I'm not putting that part out and ignoring it because I don't want to feel it, kind of thing. It's just like it's now there, but it's
Yeah.
healed, so it's not
Mhm.
as like if you think back about it, it might not be as triggering or traumatic in your mind when you think about that memory. It's just like I had a teacher who said years ago that when you heal stuff like that, it just looks like somebody else. It's like you're watching a movie, but it doesn't have the same emotional effect. Whereas before, it used to be like kind of traumatizing and upsetting, and
Mm.
you know what I mean. When you heal it, it's just like wow, I remember that. Like when I
Yeah.
was, going through the nuclear program and failing out of that and was suicidal and stuff like that. I used to not be able to say those words. I start crying and get all upset, or
Mhm.
like it was just traumatic to even mention that phase of my life had happened, and then it became now like, hey, yeah, it happened.
Yeah. It was there.
It was there. Although one of our classmates, you know what? I there was some comments on Spotify
Mhm.
when we first started posting these, and there were people that made comments that I didn't even realize were there,
Oh, wow.
and I
Really?
just saw them. And one of our classmates said, "Sheldon, when you were doing your bio, I could see you speed up when you were talking about the bad parts of your life, and you kind of got a little." Your pace of your voice quickened a little bit, and I'm like, "Wow!" So maybe it's still there a little, right?
Yeah. You're like, "Oh, I didn't know that."
you know,
Like,
yeah, exactly. It still happens, right? It's not that it's 100%, but I was like, wow, okay,
by
that's
the way, if this is still part of it,
uh,
here's proof that it happens to us too.
yeah,
So what is it? Just we're not experts, but we're experts, but
yeah.
we're living the real life.
Been
This
through a
is the
lot. I've been through a
real
lot.
talk. This is the
Yeah,
real talk, real
exactly,
life.
exactly.
Wow. Well, thank you. That was good. Wow.
And,
It's like no, it's weird. How do you feel? I feel different. Oh, by the way, at one point it was weird. I felt this um, electricity up here.
yeah,
I felt something tinging. I was like, that's different. And it wasn't like, the whole head thing we've talked about. You got
yeah,
this whole thing going up, but it was just it was just
yeah,
weird.
like
I
an
was like,
activation up there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's kind of cool. I was like, something's going on.
yeah.
I felt it, but I didn't focus on it. It's just like, wow, that's kind of interesting. Okay. I'm like, is a piece of hair moving too much? Not that I have much hair, but up to the center, I'm
so,
like, no, it's not that.
so, you know, um, I kind of when I'm doing stuff like this, call in the Holy Spirit, Jesus, angels, all that kind of stuff. I call in a whole team of
Hmm.
that, you know, my teachers and people, and there's like a lineage, and then the whole, like I said, and Holy Spirit, Jesus, all this is like a lineage, right? And that's one of the things. So I do kind of invoke that into the space so that it's kind of like you're doing this work in a protected, safe space that's literally safe. It's like doing it in a church. It's like you're creating a temple or a church energetically. So I kind of did that before we started it, just when we were first starting it. And that's why I got really quiet. I don't know if you noticed, I got quiet at the beginning for a pretty long time. That's kind of what I
Yeah.
was doing.
Uh-huh.
I was debating whether I would say it out loud. So debating whether I was going to share it now, but it's like, hey, if we want to cut it out, whatever. But so that it's a field, it's an energetic field that is safe, and you can
Hmm.
feel that, and that sometimes creates
Yeah.
this little ding, 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 ding. It's like, hey, shit's going on here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause it was. I felt it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like an activation. It's like a
Hmm.
protection, right? So that you know that I always say that my teacher used to talk about this, that's kind of like a church or a religion, even though sometimes they can be limiting because they're very mental in how they approach things and they don't get past that, right?
Hmm.
And there can be limits, but there's also a lineage there. Hey,
Mm.
I'm going. They call it apostolic succession. To all the way back to the original apostles. This is a church that has a lineage that goes all the way back to the apostles. To Jesus, and to the apostles, and that lineage, even if though it's not perfect and it's still humans or whatever, creates a path of sort of spiritual protection, right?
Mhm.
And when you don't have that and you're just off there, And all if you're praying to Buddha, that's a lineage, right? There's a lineage of protection through Buddha, through Shiva, through Krishna. You know what I mean? All of them have their, you know, their their beings that are protecting and kind of overseeing and supporting that, right? So if you're in a faith, you're bringing the energy of that faith. When you pray,
Yes.
you're bringing the energy of that prayer. So when people do the Jesus prayer, that's been prayed 10 billions of times by millions of people across the universe, across the world for centuries, and that invokes, you're tapping into an energy of that prayer. And so that's why those things can really be powerful when you're doing stuff like that, right? And so when you're doing something like this, it can be nice to invoke and bring in some of that energy so that you're, you know. And so that's why sometimes when people aren't in any path and they're doing it all on their own, it can also be a little weird because you're not necessarily coherent in that, right?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And
Totally.
that's why like the Ouija board is dangerous. It's like you're just opening yourself up. And
Yeah.
you have no lineage and you got no protection. You're not calling anything in. And you're like, what the? You're like, hey. I always say it's like going into a city and you don't know anything about the city, and you might get dropped into the bad part of town and you might get dropped into the good part of town, but you don't know. You just
Yeah.
parachuted yourself into fucking New York City, and are you in Harlem? Are you, you know what I mean? Are you in the worst part of the worst? Are you like in the, you know, are you in the best neighborhood there is, or what? You know, you don't know, and you know. Good luck, you know. Hopefully you got everything turned out, but it might not. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing on the other. So it's always best to align,
Yeah.
which I did. So
That's cool. Well, thank you.
yeah,
So if we use this, I hope it helps people.
Yeah.
I'm sure that helped me. So I'll keep notes of little things and just
Yeah.
kind of, we can revisit this down the road and say, hey,
yeah,
what came out of this?
yeah.
So,
All right. So
cool.
if we do, we'll say thank you for watching. In case we did, you decide to use.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, because who knows, we'll see this kind of like, wow, I need that. And so and if you want to go through one of those, definitely reach out, talk to Sheldon. Message
Yeah.
us,
There you go.
'cause, I mean, he does that. He's done that before, and he can help you out, and he can talk to you about things. So
Yeah.
I'm not the expert in that, just so you know. You walk me through that. Oh, I love it.
All right.
All right, everybody, have a good one out there. Be safe. Keep that smile on. I know that there's love out there. So wherever you are in this world, know
Yep.
that there's love.
Yep.
So.
Love you guys. Bye.